Yeah, UConn, as expected, was a very good team. I know their record doesn't display that, and I thought made us really uncomfortable. Really lucky to sneak out of that with a win. Um, Good to then go, and I thought played a pretty good game except for a couple windows in the Providence match. We got to spend a day in Boston, which was fun yesterday. Did the Freedom Trail, did a duck boat tour, so that was nice. And the athletes are, Johnny May said this, the athletes are on fall break this week, so they get the today off. They slept in. Hopefully they slept in, I guess. We'll do some individual meetings this week, and then obviously we get ready for another great weekend with Marquette and DePaul back at home.
Is it kind of nice to not have any distractions leading up to such a big match this week?
I think for the players, it's a great week. So yes, in that respect, it's actually one of our toughest weeks because we move our practices during the day, so our days get a little bit more condensed. We try to do individual meetings this week, just touch base with players, so that takes up a lot of time. And then obviously we need to scout for some pretty good teams this weekend. So it'll be a crazy week, but we're excited for it. All right, thanks.
When has the series with Marquette kind of become to you, and is it one you kind of look forward to because it's year in, year out kind of the best volleyball that this conference kind of has to offer?
Yeah, I think it's always fun to play great teams, and Marquette's obviously a great team. Rob Anderson and I were talking this morning. I think it was with Rob. Uh, Somebody and I were talking that the UConn match. Maybe it was Flan I was talking to, not Rob. I was talking to Flan this morning, and arguably the UConn match, winning that is arguably more important than Friday. Obviously, this is a resume builder. Hopefully, we'll have a packed house, great atmosphere, and hopefully both teams will play high-level volleyball. They're very different than last year personnel-wise. So, seeing them live, they're running a faster tempo. They're running a 5-1. I don't think since we've been in the Big East, Marquette's run a 5-1. So they're going to be a very different team than what we've seen in the past, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
What did you learn about the result of this group after that UConn match? I mean, to go two down on the road and to come back the way they did.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, we've said this all along. They don't give up. They're going to continue to fight. I think, we made some personnel changes in the UConn match. I think it shows to our depth that and again, like it wasn't even that people were playing poorly. It was like, let's see if a different combination can bring a different energy, and those things were effective. So those are all good things that, when we get punched in the future, we can look and see if, personnel can be disruptive to the opponent or bring a different energy to our team. So those things are all good things. But yeah, they will continue to fight. They stay together. I have yet to see them get chippy with each other. All those things bode well, I think, long term.
Noticed that there's a lot of repeat programs on FS1 Friday night. Was there ever a conversation about putting Creighton and Marquette on national television?
I hope there was that conversation. I hope the Big East is pushing for that. I have not had that said to me, but it seems like a no-brainer nationally. I mean, obviously, volleyball is trending. The numbers are up. I mean, I don't need to sell to you guys that people around the country are watching volleyball. ESPN has gotten on that bandwagon a little bit stronger, I think, than FS1. And this would be obviously a great match and a great atmosphere. And I think that's a big note, is it's not just a great match, but we'll have packed house. All those things bode well for television. It would be a great opportunity if FS1 wanted to do it.
So you don't have any input on any of that? They don't come to you and say, hey, what do you think about this?
Oh, I mean, I have input in the sense of like when they wanted to put the Nebraska match on and adjust our time, we discussed whether that was a good move or not, and we opted obviously to do it. I have not had any discussions. Usually they come and say, these are the matches that FS1 is talking about, and I haven't, I don't think this one was one that they discussed, but maybe I'll go ask the question today. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was the reaction like from the team? Obviously, we saw it, but what was it like on the court?
Yeah, I mean, it is neat to kind of just see the team get excited when she goes in, and then it was such. Jayla's comment was, I threw a free ball in. I wanted to dig a ball. And so I think she just kind of stood there. You know, it was a ball that Providence should have passed. I mean, it was not a, you know, she was trying to serve short and it went deep. So I don't know. They kind of campfired it and all watched it drop. So, but again, it's just a testament of how this team cares about each other. And they know Jayla's worked really hard. So I think they're excited for her for those opportunities.
Marquette seems to have a lot of firepower this year, and that's kind of what they always do. But I mean, it's like you said, the tempo is different, the system's different. Um, what challenges do they present this year from, the patterns they run and the tempo they set and all those kinds of things?
Well, I haven't watched a ton of film yet, but I'm just kind of diving into it. I think their tempo is going to be different and challenging. They always serve and pass well, play good defense. Again, if you look statistically, everyone's contributing. They have, you can't just lock into one or two players. A lot of times in a scout, you'll say, okay, these 3 players are carrying load for a team. So at end game, find this player. Marquette's obviously not a team like that we're going to have to, first contacts are going to be huge because if they're in system, they just terminate at too high of a rate. And we're not going to be able to just camp on a kid to shut them down. And then individual players on our end are going to need to step up. If that means blockers that are one-on-one, they're going to need to make touches. Defensively, we've got to make better reads. I didn't think we read the ball all that well this weekend, so we're going to be talking about that. So all those things are going to have to click for us to have an opportunity.
Match like this go a long way to when it comes down to the end of the season and the standings are likely going to be tight.
For the Big East race? Oh, heck yeah. Just like Friday night against UConn. You put yourself in a hole if you lose that match. So, yeah, it's interesting. The Big East, again, it is, Marquette and Creighton are at 6-0, and then it is a dogfight beyond that. I think everyone has had games that they're excited they won and upset that they lost. So if that continues to trend, and it's early, so I'm not saying that Marquette and Creighton will be the last 2 standing, but, there's a chance that that's the case. So obviously head-to-head is going to be really big, especially on your home court.
Anything else?
Did you say tickets went on sale for the Big East tournament today?
Yeah.
You guys are moving to 6 teams this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that different than 4, or how do you feel about, it's an extra match that you have to play before the tournament? How do you feel about it?
We have to go to 6. We have an unbalanced schedule with 11 teams. And so with only 4 teams making the tournament and 11 teams in the conference, and it's unbalanced, you might not get the right teams at the tournament. So I would argue you could even go to 8 teams. Again, the unbalanced thing changes things a lot. So absolutely in favor of 6. If you finish first and second, you don't play that first round match. It's 3 through 6 that'll play Wednesday, and then the semis will be Friday after Thanksgiving, and then the finals on Saturday. So, we'll see. Obviously, we have to make the tournament, but then at that point, we'll see where we land seed-wise. Thanks, guys.